Hello, this is Michael Wojcik with the Rochester City Council update for November 2nd, 2015. Four things we're going to talk about tonight: a rezoning, a project that was approved, staff compensation increases, and a vacation petition which was denied tonight. I guess starting out with the vacation petition, a vacation is where we take a piece of publicly controlled property like an alley or something that could become an alley and basically give it back to the surrounding landowners. And the reason why you might not want to do this is if you're in an area that is likely to redevelop, oftentimes those alleys provide really safe and effective ways to access redevelopments, and they make those redevelopment parcels more valuable. And there's a rule that we need to follow. The rule says that you cannot vacate a piece of property unless it benefits the public. And unfortunately, staff has traditionally said that, well, if it doesn't hurt the public, that's good enough to say that it benefits the public. I strongly disagree with that interpretation. In this particular case, there's a couple of private property owners that have a portion of their homes built out into the public right-of-way, and they're unable to sell their homes and complete the real estate process because they don't actually control all the land that their home is on. And they had asked to, as a result, to just get rid of this entire alley right away. And I think that was a bit of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I was able to successfully stop that. Vacations actually require 5 votes, and there were only 3. Council members Hickey, Ruska, and Staver, that they were okay with just getting rid of the entire right-of-way. The other 4 of us were not, and then I instead turned around and made a motion that we're not going to vacate the whole alley, but we'll do one of 2 things. We'll either give them a revocable permit to have their structures in the public right-of-way, which is fine, we've done that a number of times, and that should allow them to complete their real estate transactions. But if that does not work, additionally what we can do is we can probably vacate just a tiny sliver, maybe 6 inches a foot or something, and probably give them what they need anyway, and then we protect the ability to have alley access there or some other public purpose there at some point in the future should we so desire. The reason why this is important is this happens to be a very highly attractive redevelopable site. It's a surface parking lot on one side of this alley right-of-way, walkable to downtown, so we know that something's going to go on there in the future, so why in God's name would you shoot yourself in the foot right now? I mean, ultimately, there was a lot of benefit in vacating this for private parties, but there was no public benefit. Second up, up in the northeast part of Rochester, just to the east of the river, south of 37th Street, we did some rezoning up there, and basically what this is going to make way for is in the future probably some sort of medium density apartment residential would probably go up in there. It's a good place for it. The neighbors had some concerns. I think we probably addressed their concerns pretty well, and I threw out the possibility of using this as an opportunity to connect the existing neighborhood to existing parks to the north and south. Hopefully it works out for the best, but clearly they met the threshold to change the land use designation and the zoning, so that went forward unanimously. One of the things that bothered me personally, I didn't pull it to discuss it because when it comes to our collective bargaining, not a lot of people realize that the city of Rochester has 19 different labor bargaining groups, and that makes it incredibly difficult to get contracts in place because, again, you're negotiating with 19 different entities, so we do our best to create a consistent template that we use across the city. And we're looking to do 3-year contracts from the years 2016 to 2018. And the issue is that over those 3 years, the annual compensation increase is going to be on the order of 2.75%. That bothers me, particularly in light of the fact that the cost of infrastructure, the unfunded cost of maintaining our infrastructure, also our buildings, is really substantial right now, and that's going to really hurt our ability to work these things into the levy, and it's frustrating. Now, I didn't pull it and oppose it in part because the city council, we have a subgroup of us that's on a personnel advisory committee. I don't sit on that group, but 2 of our more critical council members when it comes to this kind of stuff are on there, and I wouldn't have a whole lot to add that they didn't. And ultimately, the reason why we're doing the 3-year contract at 2.75% is that that's what our HR professionals tell us is required for a contract in this day and age. I mean, I guess wages in a lot of these professional positions, that's what's happening right now. But it does concern me, and I'm cognizant of the burden that's going to be put on property tax payers in the community as a result of not only this, but the incredible tidal wave of infrastructure costs that are coming. Lastly, a real positive, really excited to see another really high quality development coming up in southeast Rochester. This is going to be the old Buckeye Liquor site, and it's being replaced with a 6-story building with some retail on the ground level and 5 levels of units above it. Beautiful, beautiful architected building. Did about as well with that site as you could. It's not perfect, but it's a very difficult site to develop, and they did a phenomenal job. They reached out early. They talked with the neighborhood. I put the bug in the developer's ear about, hey, you know what I really like? Affordable housing. And this project will have 20% of the units, both studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom, will be affordable units. The studios I heard were going to be they're going to be available are under $600, and God knows we need a lot of that in the downtown. But besides for having the affordable housing component, the interface with the street is beautiful. The materials I find are beautiful, and just the massing of the building is incredible. This is kind of a cornerstone development that the Slattery neighborhood needed to really spur, hopefully, a lot of redevelopment both in the 4th Street South East and 3rd Avenue Southeast corridors. There's a lot of opportunity there to make things better than they are today, and I really thanked Nate Stencil and his team and the neighborhood for doing such an incredible job bringing this forward. This is a project I'm really sincerely excited to see, and I think this expands the scope of what downtown is into an area that maybe hadn't seen some of the benefits other neighborhoods have. And I think my comment to the developer is keep doing work in Rochester. We want to see more projects like this. So it just goes to show that, some developers will submit their plans without having had really meaningful dialogue with neighborhoods, and other developers, they really go out of their way to work with neighborhoods ahead of time. And the funny thing is that working with the neighborhoods ahead of time, it doesn't really seem to add cost, and it certainly doesn't add delay. It seems to help people more than anything else. So really happy to see a great project rewarded with a unanimous show of support here. And one more project containing affordable housing desperately needed coming to downtown Rochester. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you again next time.